All right, all right, all right. Bro, you guys got me hyped, bro. You guys got me hyped. Literally, you guys have no idea what you guys do. All right, I'm just gonna like start getting ready in here. I'm gonna start warming up, warming up. All right, so I want to see how many W's we could get in the chat right now. Put a W in the chat right now. W in the chat. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. Bro, you guys got me hyped. Let's do this. All right, all right, all right, all right. Fire. Love it. Love it. All right. Before I get started, before I say absolutely anything, I want you guys to understand what is happening tonight. Like you guys are actually like driving me so much energy and so much motivation right now that I'm pumped. I'm as pumped can get. And I want to tell you guys before I get started to anything that you guys have shown to me a serious amount of commitment. I put up the stream on YouTube 8 to 9 hours ago, and there was literally 50 to 60 people just chilling on the stream, talking to one another for hours into the point where we are right now. When there was about 5 hours left on this webinar to start, there was about 100 people. When there was about 4 hours, there was 200. When there was 3 hours, there's about 500 people, all up until about an hour ago where there was 1,000 to 2,000 people just chilling here on the stream, talking to one another and getting to know each other within the chat, which is absolutely crazy to me. And it's motivational because it's like, wow, these are people that are just communicating with each other in the chat, and they've been here for this webinar tonight. So that shows me serious commitment. And I want to thank you guys for trusting in me. And I want to thank you guys out there for being there this whole entire time waiting for this. I know there might be some of you guys out there watching this on a phone. Some of you guys are watching this stream maybe on a computer. Some of you guys are probably watching the stream on a TV, on a tablet. Who knows what you're watching it on? Maybe it's 1 in the morning where you are. Maybe it's in the afternoon. Maybe it's the evening. And wherever you are in the world, I will make this worth it for you because you guys have shown serious commitment to me. So if you guys hear me and everything is good, so I can get started, type 1 in the chat and then we can get started with this right away. So just type 1 in the chat if you guys hear me and if everything is good so I can get started right away. You guys got me hyped. You guys got me hyped. So type a 1, like a number 1 in the chat. Just want to make sure everything's good. I just seen hella W's. All right, there you go. Perfect. We're seeing a bunch of ones. Perfect, perfect. So thank you guys for those of you guys that, again, we're here from the beginning. Serious commitment that you guys have shown. And this is absolutely crazy what is going on right now. So what I'm going to be doing right now is showing you guys everything from my strategy. I'm going to be showing you guys the boot camp, who got accepted, who didn't get accepted. And for those of you guys that didn't get accepted, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my strategy so you guys could take it on with you guys then. So I'm going to start sharing my screen so we can get started with this immediately. So 30-day bootcamp. This is something that I have not done in a little over, I'd say, almost 2 years. And it is definitely something that is extremely legendary. But you guys are probably wondering, why are you guys here? What is the reasoning behind you guys being part of this webinar? Why has this been hyped up so much? And that is simply because you want to learn two things. There's two reasons why you're here. One, you want to learn the skill set that's going to let you make anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 in your first month as a beginner trader, or for you to get your first 5-digit payout if you're an experienced trader. Or the other option is you're probably here to see if you got access to the 30-day bootcamp, which only 0.4% of you guys did, which I know it's crazy, but since it's my first bootcamp back and it is the first time that I'm doing it, I want to make sure I can work with 100 students so I can get them to success. And then if I do it again down the road in the future, then maybe I can open up more spots. But for this one, strictly 100 students. And you're probably wondering why they're like, why am I doing this? Right? I have the cars, I have the luxuries, I have the profits, and like, you know, I wanted to find a purpose in order for me to do it because, you know, this is not something that I can just think of randomly. Like, I don't, you know what? Okay, I'm going to do it tomorrow. No, like when I went to Colombia, ending of 2023, I was kind of lost, right? Because I had achieved a lot of things very fast and I was almost a little confused on what should I do for my 2024, right? I wanted to have a plan. I wanted to have something that I can drive and something that I can follow every single day, something that I can work towards, not just make money, spend it, and then use it, because that's it really does get boring over time. And I want to make sure that I have a purpose towards everything that I was doing. And that's where I got an answer. I got an answer to the plan for me to drive stuff in my 2024 year. And this is where the big five came out of. So if you guys aren't familiar with the big five, it is where these are the only things that I will be working on in 2024. Now, these are going to be things that are personal. They're going to be things that are materialistic. They're going to be things that are trading wise. They're going to be things that are some things that some people cannot even imagine and you can't even fathom them. But the point is that a lot of people, they set goals at the beginning of the year. They could set 10 to 15 big or small goals. And realistically, by the end of the year, they don't really get anything done. So what I did with the big five is I only focus on things that mattered. And I'm only going to focus on these five things throughout the year. That way I can achieve everything and I get everything done. But everything within this big five is very big. That's why it's called the big five. But two of them are trading related. One of them is where I want to make $10 million this year in my personal trading. Now, I know I've made pretty much close to $10 million in the course of 6 years, but I want to set a big goal for myself for me to make $10 million in one single year using my set and forget strategy, which is pretty big goal, but I'm going to do everything in my power to do so. And then the second trading goal is I want all of my Swing Trading Lab members that use the set and forget strategy to make $10 million in profit using it. And this is where we're going to find the best way in order to get these $10 million using the set and forget strategy, because I set the big goal. And then after I set the big goal, then I have to have the plan on how do I make this achievable. And that is with the 30-day bootcamp. The 30-day bootcamp is what's going to create those 100 traders in order so they can work towards that goal. And again, by you guys making money, I don't make any money from it. You know what I mean? It just gives me satisfaction that what I am doing works, and that not only can you guys do it for yourself, but then you can show a family member, or you can just pass it on to anybody around you. And set and forget goes beyond me, and it goes beyond what I've created, because it's such a simple strategy and it's going to literally make sense in about 30 to 40 seconds, right? But I wanted to put it into perspective, right? Like, why 30 days? Well, think about it. Let's say LeBron James was your mentor or your coach for 30 days. I can guarantee you in 30 days, you'll probably be making 3-point shots. You'll probably be dunking because he's the best in the game. He's the guy that's going to take you to success. And in 30 days, it's plenty of time. And let's say Cristiano Ronaldo, that he's your coach. I can guarantee you that in 30 days, you're going to cross somebody up in soccer and you're going to definitely hit a goal so you can win the game as well. And I want you to imagine what that would have looked like if it would have been one day, if it would have been 7 days, if it would have been 15, and then 30. And obviously, 30 days is a very, very long time. But that's where I came up with the genius idea. If we're going to do it, let's do it big. If I'm having such a big goal of having my students get $10 million, why set myself short? But now you're probably wondering how. How is that possible? How am I going to make such a big promise and get you guys to have those type of results? Well, that is exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to show you guys exactly how simple I'm going to make this look to you guys, right? Because a lot of you guys think you guys know how to read the markets, whether you've been trading for 6 months, whether you've been trading for a year, whether you've been trading for 2 years. A lot of people think they know, and they really don't know. And lately, there's been a lot of beginner traders that have entered the community, and they really don't know because there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I'm going to make it my duty to take you guys from 0 to 100%. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing right now. So if you guys are in front of your computer, if you're in front of your TV, if you're in front of a phone, a tablet, whatever you're in front of, get comfortable, because I'm going to show you guys what Set and Forget is about and how to actually get this done the right way. I'm going to show you a sneak peek of what to expect inside of the Set and Forget, because this is something that is going to be life changing, and it can not only do it for me, but it's going to do it for you guys as well. So if you guys see my screen and everything looks clear, just put a W in the chat. Put a W in the chat if you guys see my charts and everything is good, so I can get started. If everything looks good, put a W in the chat. All right, fire, 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 fire. Perfect, 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 perfect. By the way, 11,000 people on a stream right now. That is actually crazy. This is insane. So I got the chat right here. I'm looking at the chat. All right. So now that we understand that we have this market right here. So I want you guys to understand the first thing that you should do as a trader. But before I get to that point right there, I want to put into perspective how simple this is. And as soon as you grasp the simplicity of this, then I'm going to show you with the markets because it's really not that complicated. We've complicated it over time with misinformation. And I want to show you guys how simple it is, right? So I want to ask you guys a question. When you get up in the morning, right? Whether you're going to have breakfast, whether you're going to go to the gym, whether you're going to go to work, whatever you're going to do, when you get up in the morning, the first thing that you do is get up, walk, and let's say brush your teeth and put your clothes on, right? If you guys do that, type one. If you don't do that, type two. I want to see how many people don't actually do that. So type one if that is your routine in the morning. Yeah, the chat's just a little delayed. All right, perfect. Okay, perfect. Question: are the charts blurry or do they act, or do they look good? Or are they a little bit blurry? Because I want to make sure that they look good. I can zoom in a little bit more. Are the charts blurry or they look good? Yeah, the chat is definitely delayed. Oh yeah, dude, I'm ready to lock in right now. Like you guys have no idea. It's a little blurry. It's good, good. Looks good, 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 good. All right, perfect. All right, cool. So back to the example that I was explaining, right? So I saw some of you guys get up and you guys, brush your teeth, put on your clothes or whatever the case is, right? Or some people have a routine. The point is that your routine is you know your system when you wake up. You simply wake up and you do what you have to do subconsciously. You don't wake up every single morning and have to think, damn, okay, am I going to get up and walk with my left foot? And then am I going to walk through the bathroom door or am I just going to walk straight to the car in my underwear or am I going to walk out through the balcony? Like what? No, subconsciously, when you get up in the morning, you're going to simply get up, brush your teeth, put on your clothes, and then do whatever you're going to do next, right? That is just your routine. You don't have to think about it. You just do it because you've been doing it for so long. Now, you have to have that same systematic approach when you come to the markets with step number one, rule number one. So make sure you guys write this down, right? So let's take a one step back. Before you guys do anything in the morning, you simply just get up, brush your teeth, you put your clothes on. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to meditate. You don't have to light a candle. You don't have to do all of this superstitious stuff, right? You just simply get up and you do what you have to do. So now, when you get to the market, when you sit down here in your desk and you look at the charts, this is the first thing that you have to do. And the step number one is you need to find a pair that has a minimum of 2 time frames in sync. Now, this is something that you don't have to meditate, you don't have to read a book, you don't have to do anything. Just subconsciously, you get into the market and you simply look at the chart and you're going to look for a pair that has 2 time frames in sync. This should not take absolutely any time. This should not take any thinking process. This is simply just going to be straight to the point, right? Now, what do I mean by 2 time frames in sync? This means that you need to have a market that is either bullish or bearish. Now, the way we identify whether a market is bullish or bearish is with market structure. If you guys are with me so far, type one. If not, two. Okay, I'm seeing that it's blurry. I think what I'm gonna have to do is this. Watch, give me a second, because I have a huge monitor, right? So I think I'm gonna have to make it smaller. If I make it smaller and I do this, where is this at? Right here. If I do, All right, there you go. Do you guys see it better now? Type 1 if yes, type 2 if no. All right, let's see. Let's see if it got better. Yeah, the chat is a little delayed.
Yeah.
All right, type 1 if it got better, type 2 if it's still the same. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Bum, bum, bum. Way better? Actually, put a W if it's better and put a L if it's not. I don't really want to see any L's, but whatever. Put a W if it looks better, put a L if it does not look better. It's my first time streaming on YouTube, by the way. So
Still using the chat.
yeah, put a W if it looks better. Put an L if the quality does not look better. It looks good. Perfect. Quality is way better. Fire, fire. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, better. All right, so let's take it a few steps back, right? Let's take it a few steps back. So when you guys wake up in the morning, you subconsciously do whatever you have to do. Whether you wake up, you look at your phone immediately, whether you wake up, you walk your dog, whatever, like whatever you do every single morning, you simply just do it subconsciously. You don't have to think about it. Your body just does it, right? That is the system that you've created. Now, it has to be the exact same thing when you come to the markets. Now, when you come to the markets, the first thing that I look with my trading strategy is I need to find a pair that has a minimum of 2 time frames in sync in order to take the trade. Now we're looking at bullish market structure or bearish market structure. Bullish market structure means the market is going up. Bearish market structure means the market is going down because we are looking to trade with the trend. We're not looking to trade against it. So I want to know if you guys can identify whether this market is bullish or bearish, right? I want to put you guys to the test. This is for all of my experienced traders out there that you guys got taught by other traders. I want to know if you guys really think you guys know where this market is headed, right? To start it off immediately. So first things first, if you guys think this market is bullish, type bullish in the chat. If you think this market is bearish, put bearish in the chat, and then we're going to review it. So if you think the market is bullish, put bullish. If you think it is bearish, put bearish. All right. So I'm already seeing that easily 70% of you guys are wrong. I'm literally seeing it right now in the chat. And it's crazy because the foundation of rule number 1, you guys are already doing it wrong. And if you guys are already doing the one thing, like the first thing wrong, everything else gets messed up. When you get up in the morning, if the first thing that you do is wrong, the rest of the day is already messed up. If you, as soon as you wake up, you walk to your car in your underwear, you're going to get sick because it's cold outside, or you're going to leave the keys inside. Like it's already not right because you've already started off the day wrong. You didn't start with the simple routine. So it is the exact same thing here in trading. If you don't start off with the first thing right, you're gonna mess up everything. So this market right now, we're gonna simply identify with market structure. So I want you guys to tell me what this market structure is doing right here. So is this market structure bullish or bearish? Is this market structure right here bullish or bearish? Watch. You guys are literally going to, you guys are going to trip out. Bullish or bearish? Okay. Very simple, right? This market is bullish, right? Because it's consisted of higher highs and higher lows. Okay. Now, is this market bullish or bearish? Is this market bullish or bearish? I want to see. I want to see what you guys say right now. Bullish or bearish? All right. This is very, very, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Because it's crazy because 90% of you guys are wrong. And I'm going to literally show you guys. All right. All right. Actually, all right. 70%, 70%, 70%. Okay, cool. Perfect. All right. So a market structure is consisted of higher highs and higher lows, lower lows and lower highs. So higher highs and higher lows equals bullish. And then lower lows, oh, where did that go? I'll do it again. All right, so higher highs, higher lows equals bullish, and then lower highs, lower lows equals bearish, right? So this is what is consisted of the market structure. If you have a bullish market, it's consisted of higher highs and higher lows. If you have a bearish market, it is consisted of lower lows and lower highs. So this market right here has higher highs and higher lows, right? Now let's identify it. The way we identify it is with this ray right here. So this is what we're going to mark off as the higher high. And then this point right here, we are going to mark off as the higher low, right? So this point right here is this one. Higher low is this higher low. This higher high is this higher high. If that makes sense, type 1. If it does not, type 2. This is going to be so simple and so fast that you guys are literally going to rethink your whole entire experience with trading up to this point right now. You guys are going to literally rethink absolutely everything you have learned in your trading up to this point right now with how simple I'm going to make this happen, right? So we all agree that this market is bullish, that this is a higher high and a higher low. So before I ask you the next question, I'm going to literally teach you it and you're still going to get it wrong, but it's okay because I'm going to help you understand this market right here. So this market will remain bullish as long as we do not body candlestick close under the higher low. The moment we body candlestick close under the higher low, this market will then turn bearish. But this market can do this right here all the way up to this point and then do this. And this is now consisted of a new higher low and then a new higher high. If you guys agree, type 1. If you guys don't, type 2, right? Everything right now is super easy. And I want to show you guys how easy it is that you guys have been messing up your whole entire experience with trading thus far. But I'm going to make sure I get you guys right as of right now. You guys are going to see how this is going to shift like this. So we all agree with what I just explained, right? That if this market structure breaks under, then this market is bearish, right? So everything within this box is market structure until we break above or under this line, right? This is the highest point, and then this is the highest low point. So what is this point right here? Is this considered a lower low? Is this a lower high? What is this point right here? Is it, which one of these 4 is it? Because the market can only do these 4 things. It could only create a higher high, a higher low, a lower high, or a lower low. What is this point right here? I want to see what your guys' opinion is. Is it a lower high? Is it a lower low? What is it? What is it? Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Exactly. Okay. So I'd say 70%, no, not even. 90% of you guys are wrong, right? 90% of you guys are absolutely wrong. This point right here is literally nothing. It is just a market structure point. It is just a point where the market rejects it from, but it is not a lower, it is not a lower high because the market is not bearish. It's not a lower low because it's simply not the lowest point. It is not a higher high because it's not above the last high, and it's not a higher low because this point hasn't broken above. So this point right here is absolutely nothing. And this can cause extreme confusion because you guys might mark that as a point. You guys might not mark that as a point. What matters is that this is the highest point. This is the higher lowest point. So this market is bullish until we break above or we break under. Now, the moment we break above this line, now this becomes the newest higher high. Now, I want you guys to take this side note because this is extremely important because it is literally, I'm just going to literally type it right here. It is impossible to have a higher low without a, there you go. It's impossible to have, hold on, because this thing is not working. 1 second, guys. Oh, this thing is not working. All right, we'll do it down here. It is impossible to have a higher high without a higher low. It is impossible to have a lower low without a lower high, right? So as of right now, that we've created this new higher high, that means that the last higher low has to shift. It has to move to the last higher low. So now, what is the last higher low? Is it 0.1? Is it 0.2? Or is it 0.3? Which one of these points is it? Is it 0.1, 0.2, or 0.3? Now that you know that it is impossible to have a higher high without a new higher low. So now that we've identified that this market is bullish, this higher low point has to move. To which one of these 3 points does it move? Does it move to 0.1, 2, or 3? Okay, so I'd say about 50% of you guys have it. 50% of you guys have it. Okay. So it is definitely not number 2, right? You can take number 2 out of the picture because that just simply doesn't even make sense, right? But now there seems to be a confusion in between 1 and 3. Now, a higher low is literally what it says. It is the last higher low. So what is the last higher low? Is it this point right here? Or is it this point right here? Which one was the last structure point that got it to break out and create the higher high? Was it 0.1 or was it 0.2? And after you, was it 0.1 or 0.3? And after you guys answer that question, I'm going to give you guys a little trick so you guys never, ever miss it ever again. All right, because it can be very easy to confuse it. But once I show you this little trick, you guys will completely understand it. Right? So which one was the last point that pushed it out? 0.1 or 0.3? Exactly. Exactly. It is 0.3. 0.3, it is the one that has pushed it to create a new higher high, meaning that we simply create the higher low and we move it to this point right here. So now this is the higher low and then this is the higher high, right? So now sometimes that can be a little confusing and it's actually very easy for you to understand it, right? So let's say this is where it was before, this is where it was before. So once price has broken the last higher high, you know this one's very easy to place. The higher high, it's very easy. You just put it at the highest point. You don't have to put it here. You don't have to put it, the highest high is the highest point. That one's easy. But now you know it is impossible to have a higher high without a higher low, and it has to move. So where do you put it? Well, this is where I have what is called the little snake trick. The snake trick is pretty much where it shows you where it reverses, right? So usually a snake pretty much kind of moves like this, right? So a snake kind of moves in a straight line when it's going forward. When it's moving in one direction, it's going forward, right? But whenever the snake did this, right? Let's say the snake is like this means that the snake kind of popped a U-turn, it hit a 180, it avoided some shit. You know what I mean? It had to go the other way. So this is where we use the snake trick at the top of the higher high move, right? So this is where we're going to have the head of the snake, right? So this is like the tongue, whatever. Not that good at drawing, but you guys understand it. So then this is the body of the snake right here, kind of going in a straight line. And as soon as you have the sharp turn, this is where you can see that the snake popped a U-turn right here, making it go to the upside. So this is what is called the shift of the higher low. If that makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. It is very, 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 very simple. Because if you notice, that snake trick right here would have simply gotten us, could have not gotten us here. It would have had to gone to the other way. So if it makes sense, type 1. It doesn't, type 2. And I'm just going very fast. I'm going, super, 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 super fast, just so you guys understand why you guys were wrong in this pair down here, right? So I just want to, put into perspective what is going on right now. So now that we understand that, let me just remove all this extra noise over here. It's very simple. We understand that this is now bullish. Now, the moment that we break this point right here, this market now goes bearish, right? When this happens, is the market now bullish or is it bearish? Type 1 for bullish, type 2 for bearish. Type 1 for bullish, type 2 for bearish. Okay. Okay. Type 1 for bullish, type 2 for bearish. All right. Cool. 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 Okay. Perfect. Perfect. There you go. There you go. All right. So now we have about 100% of you guys that understand, because the moment we body close under the higher low point makes this market structure now shift bearish. So now it is impossible to have a lower low without a lower high. So now that the market is bearish, we need to have a lower low and a lower high. So the new lowest low point, which is this break right here, this turns into the lower low because it is the lowest point, right? So it is lower low is the lowest point, and then the lower high is the last lower high. So in this case, this turns into the lower high. Let's say you didn't know how to place the lower high. Well, that's where we bring out our trusty little snake. We do the tongue. You don't have to do the tongue. It's unnecessary. I just do it so you guys get a visual representation. And as soon as you have the sharp turn, this is where you can tell that this is the last structure point, and then this turns as the lower high. If that makes sense, type 1. If it does not, type 2. I want to make sure that we are all understanding right now that this market structure is now bearish. So this leg right here is now heading to the downside. So this market, even though it might look like it is going up, the market structure is actually bearish. So this market, a beginner trader, without looking at these two lines right here, without looking at this and without looking at this, they would think that this market is bullish because it's, the market's going up. It looks like it's going up, but that is the wrong answer. And this is where traders get it all wrong because they don't get the first step right, which is understanding market structure. And this market structure is actually bearish. It might look like it's going up, but it's not going up. The market structure is bearish. And this is indicating to us that it is now going to head to the downside for a very, very long time. So if you guys are with me so far, type 1. If you guys are not, type 2. I want to make sure before I move forward, I can kind of get this, because I just want to give this little example so you guys are up to speed and you guys understand everything, because we got to get back to the candlesticks and so I can show you guys exactly what it's about. So we're getting a bunch of ones in the chat. We got some twos. Don't worry. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to make it as simple as I can, right? So this right now, all we are simply doing is I am just showing you guys very simple market structure. This, I literally spend a whole week and a half or almost 2 weeks in the 30-day bootcamp about this alone, because this is so important that the moment you understand the market structure and you understand the higher low, you understand the lower highs, and you understand how this works, you literally know how to read the market. Now that you know how to read the market, you can apply a strategy that's going to give you an edge. That's it. It's literally that simple. Now, before we get into it, remember what you guys said if this was bullish or bearish at the beginning. Remember, a lot of you guys are saying bullish. A lot of you guys are saying bearish. Now, looking at this simple example that I just showed you guys, keep in mind, right? Keep in mind what I just showed you guys. A lot of you guys said this was bullish. A lot of you guys saying this was bearish. Now, I'm not saying what it is just yet. I'm going to let you guys dictate what it is before I say anything, right? But I just wanted to bring back to the first example that we did, because everything that I'm doing here is based off of this example right here, right? So now that this market is bearish, this market is going to start creating lower lows and lower highs, because now this market is going to start heading to the downside. So let me just move this a little bit here to the right. Let me move this right here a little bit to the right, so you guys can get an understanding of what is going on. So now this market starts doing this, right? Now, if this market has broken under this lower low, well, that means that we have to move it, right? So where is the lowest low on this market right here? Is it on point 1? Is it on point 2? Or is it on point 3? On which point is the new lowest low on this market since we have broken under this line? Is it 1, 2, or 3? Which one of these is it? So we understand where the market is going to now be. Okay. All right. I'd say about 70% of you guys are correct, right? It's very easy. It's pretty much right in front of your face, right? And, we just kind of went through some points. So the new lowest low is literally the lowest low. It is 0.3, which is this point right here. It can definitely not be number 3 because it was the lowest low before. So that one automatically cancels out. So you only are left with 2 options, right? And then option 1, if you were to put the lower low here, it's not the lowest low. The lowest low is this point right here. So now remember what we wrote down over here. It is impossible to have a lower low without a lower high. So this is not the last lower high. It has to get moved. Where does this lower high now get moved to? Does it move to point 1? Does it move to point 2? Or does it move to point 3? Which one does the lower high points now move to? And you guys are going to understand why this is so important and it is so key. And I'm going to give a little sneak peek into it right now before we actually go back into the candlesticks because it's actually kind of crazy, right? So is it 1, 2, or 3? Beautiful. I'd say 90% of you guys got it correct. Now, I am not making this up. I am not coming into the market right now and I'm saying, all right, we are going to redefine the way the market is being read. The market is no longer going to be read how people before, and this is going to be called a sausage. And then this is going to be called a hamburger. No, I am not saying that. I'm literally showing you guys how the market is actually read. Like I'm just showing you guys how to properly read it. I'm not making anything up. This is simple market structure. It's like when you're driving and you see a green light, well, it's called a green light. That's simply what it is. And you look to your right, there's a stop sign. And then when you look to your left, there's an arrow indicating you go left. Like I'm just showing you guys very simple stuff that you should know, but this industry doesn't show it. And it's very messed up because it can, frustrate a lot of traders in their journey. And it can either make or break a lot of people and it can make them doubt everything they're doing. So everything that I'm going to be showing you guys right now is a very little sneak peek of what to expect in the 30-day bootcamp. So the lower high is point number 3. Obviously, it cannot be point 1. It cannot be point 2. So it is point 3. Now, once again, we're going to apply the little snake trick so you guys understand that this is the head right here. Then this is the tongue right here. And then again, the body, as soon as it has a sharp turn, this is where the snake was pretty much going up right here, but then it turned, indicating to us that that is the last structure point, making it the lower high, right? So now this market, we understand that it is bearish. So meaning that anything that happens in between these 2 lines, this market will remain bearish. And the moment we body close above, then this market will then go bullish, right? So if this market now body closes above and it goes bullish, where do we have the higher high? Is the higher high at point 1? Is it at point 2? Or is it at point 3, right? And this is going to be the last example so I can show you guys very fast, very simple, right? So is it at points 1, 2, or 3? 1, 2, or 3. Very, very, very easy. Now, this time frame, and again, all of that, I can try and squeeze in it as best as I can. But all this I teach in every time frame. But you guys have that's why I need 30 days, because if I'm going to literally take you from 0 to 100, I got to make sure that I teach everything as best as I can. Exactly. So the new higher high is point number 3. You guys are seeing how easy this is, right? You guys are seeing how easy this looks. So to a beginner trader at the beginning, this would have looked like a bullish market, or this would have looked like a bearish market, right? If you just come to the chart and you look at it, you would have thought, oh, it's going up, or maybe you would have thought it's going down, but you didn't know why or where or when, right? You wouldn't know exactly what structure point makes it go up or what structure point makes it go down. Well, now that you understand very simple market structure, you can literally know why it's going up and where. So remember, if we have a higher high, we must have a higher low. So where is the higher low? Is it at point 1? Is it at point 2? Or is it at point 3? Let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, or 3. This guy said, this is all I needed to quit my job. Nah, bro, there's still a lot more left, bro. This is just simple market structure. I'm probably teaching you guys 5%. This is literally the tip of the iceberg. This is absolutely just how I'm not even teaching you guys my strategy yet. Like I'm literally just teaching you guys how to read the market. Because if once you learn how to read the market, you could apply my strategy in one day and you start making money just like me. But you got to learn how to read the market the right way. Cool. So you understand that this is now the higher low. Beautiful. So now you understand basic market structure reading, right? So now I'm going to come back to the first question that I asked you guys in this market right here. Is this market bullish or is it bearish? Please take your time. I want you guys to take your time. Don't judge it based off of what you guys think right away. Look at it, place your lines quickly, and what do you guys think this is now? Knowing what I have just taught you guys. Is this bullish or is this bearish? So type it in the chat. Type bullish or type bearish. Okay. All right. All right. I'm seeing a lot of new answers. I'd say about 75%, 80% of you guys have it correct. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So this market right here, I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. You guys are going to tell me what it is, right? So I'm just going to bring over here our trusty higher low and higher high. So we're just going to start off from this point right here just to keep it simple. So this is the higher low. This is the higher high, right? So we're reading the market off of this point right here. And then we're reading the market off of this point right over here. So this is the higher low. This is the higher high. The moment we body close above this line, this now turns into the new higher high. So we're looking right here. And if we have a new higher high, we have to have a new higher low. So this point right here would be the higher low, which would be this point right here. The moment we body close above, this now turns into the higher high. So this point goes over here. And then we need a new higher low because that is the new higher high. So now we're looking at this point right here. So then something interesting happens here. We body close under, right? What happens when we body close under this line right here? What happens? Type it in the chat. Let's see what happens. Let's see. What happens when we body close under that line right there? Exactly. 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 We shift the structure. The market went bearish, right? So now that the market went bearish, we simply come here and then this turns into our lower low. And then where's our lower high? Oh, we don't know where the lower high is. Well, that's where we are going to bring in our trusty little snake just so we can identify our lower high, right? So we come here, we put the head, we do the little body, and as soon as we have a sharp turn, boom, that is our lower high point right here. So then this now turns into our lower high points. Let me just mark this off over here. So this now turns into our lower high points right here, right? So now meaning whenever we get a body close above or under this line, the market shifts. And what do we have right here? That is a body close above. So that means that this market then shifted to bullish. So then this market right here went bullish at this point right here. And then after this point right here, then we need to have a higher low. Because again, remember, it is impossible to have a higher high without a higher low. Now, where is the higher low? You don't know? Well, You get the little snake trick. You put the head right here, put the tongue if you want to be sus, extra, whatever you want to call it. And then you follow the market structure. And as soon as we have the sharp turn, that is our higher low point right there. So then this is where we will then come. We will bring in the higher low and we will identify this as our higher low point right here. Now that we identified this as the higher low point, the moment we body close under, then this becomes bearish. And if this becomes bearish, we must have a lower high. So then the lower high would be this point right here. I don't have to pull out the little snake. I'm sure you guys already understand. And now this point right here, we identified that it is nothing because we haven't broken above this market structure point. So this market is currently bearish. So what do you guys think so far? So this is literally just putting to you guys into perspective how the market is read. Now, you guys that said bullish or bearish, I want you guys to know why it's bullish or bearish. It's bullish or bearish because of this market structure right here, not because of this lower high, not because of that one. Because if you have the lower high and the lower low right, you will know exactly where you have to buy and exactly where you have to sell. So if this just cleared up 90% of your doubts and concerns, type 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat because I want to make sure that all of you guys are up to speed, because I can guarantee you that at the beginning, this might have looked super confusing, but the way that I explained it right now, it just makes it simple, right? Because I told you guys, this is simple. This is not hard. It's a routine. When you wake up in the morning, you just get up, you brush your teeth, you put on your clothes. You don't have to think about it. Same thing here. You don't have to think about doing this. All you have to do is just mark off your lines and that's it. Like, it's really not that complicated. People have just made this complicated because the reality is they don't know about this. They have no idea what they're doing. I've been doing this for 6 years. I know the ins and outs of everything when it comes to these markets. So now that we understand that this is simple, right? I just want to put into perspective to you guys why this is so important, because now that we know that this market is bearish, we are only looking to sell. And where do we sell? We only sell inside of this zone right here. Because let's say we have an area of interest that is up here for whatever reason, right? I'm just putting a blind example. If the market makes it all the way up to this point right here, we are no longer bearish because the market has just broken above this point. So why would you put a sell point at this area when the market's going to create a higher high at this point and you can't sell at a higher high? So it doesn't make sense. So it's so key for you to know where your lower high and lower low is, because you only sell within this zone. You don't have to get out of this zone. You simply only focus inside of this zone for you to look for your sells. So this just gets all of this market right here that might look extremely confusing, and you just narrow it down to one box, right? So now that you guys understand this up here, right? You guys understand the very simple lines. You guys understand the very simple charts. Are you guys ready to go to the candlesticks? Type a W if you guys are ready to go to the candlesticks, which are these down here, or if I should go on one more example, because we gotta get this advanced to the next point. All right, we got some W's in the chat, W's in the chat, W's in the chat. False breakouts, that's something completely different. That's something that we were like, that's like week 2.5 inside of the 30-day boot camp. Like, there's no point in you to focus on a fake breakout when you just learned how to read the market. You don't even know that a fake out exists. You know what I mean? Like, don't even worry about that. We got so much other stuff to cover, right? So we got a bunch of W's in the chat. So now we're gonna move on. All right. So I'm just gonna bring over our texts that are over here. So remember, the only thing that I have shown you guys right now is how to find a pair that it is bullish or bearish. I don't mean to say this in a bad way, but I technically haven't taught you guys anything. But in reality, I have, because everybody here at the beginning was wrong. But I'm just teaching you the basics. I'm teaching you the foundations of what I do every single day. And this is what you guys should know, but you guys don't. So I'm going to make sure I take care of you guys and I get you guys right, because we haven't even started point one, because I can't teach you point one until you know how to read the market the right way. So now is this market structure right here? Is this market structure, is it bullish or is it bearish? What is this market right here? Because I need you guys to understand that to see if this pair makes sense for us. Because if we don't have a pair that has 2 time frames in sync, we simply don't take the trade. That's it. We're not interested in it. We move on to another one. Like there's plenty of other markets out there. That's why I have so many pairs on my watch list, because I only focus on pairs that have pro trend trading traits. I don't take a trade that is not trending with the market. And that's why I only pick 2 or 3 pairs that are trending perfectly. That's why I'm winning all the time, because I can see the market structure. People that only trade 1 pair, they're literally limiting themselves to so much other opportunity. Some pairs, some weeks are extremely choppy, they're extremely slow, and they simply aren't having trending markets. That's why I look at a bunch of other markets, because they are trending, they're following a trend, right? So this market right here is actually bearish. This market is headed to the downside. The market structure here is bearish. Now, I get it. It might look like it's bullish, because if you look at it on a super big scale, if you look at it on something like this, right? You might think that it's going to continue to the upside. But based off of what I just showed you guys, based off of simple market structure, let's just say we mark this off right here as the higher high. So this would be the higher high. And if we copy and paste that to this point right here, this would be the higher low, right? Because we do everything to the bodies of the candlesticks. All of these wicks, we don't pay attention to the wicks right now for the market structure, right? So if we simply come here, we put our line this way, put our line this way. What do we get here? We got a break above. So that means that this is now the higher high point right here. We do the little snake trick to find out where is the higher low. We come here, we're going straight down, and then boom, we have a sharp turn. So that means that this right here is our higher low point right here, which is this point right here. Let me actually flip this one around, which is this point right here, right? If that makes sense as of right now, type 1. If it does not, type 2. Want to make sure we are all on the same page. If what I just did right now makes sense, type 1. If it doesn't, type 2. Because this is very, very simple. We literally just did the same thing on the line chart. All we did right now was just put candlesticks in front of it. Like we're doing absolutely nothing different. Okay, perfect. We got a bunch of ones in the chat. This is exactly what I like to see. And remember, at the beginning, you guys had no idea what you guys were looking at. This looked extremely confusing. It looked like it made absolutely no sense, but now it does, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to show you guys how this shifts to the downside. So what happens here? So if you notice, we never body closed above the line. So what does that mean? That this does not count, because we only look at the bodies of the candlesticks. But what happened here? We body candlestick closed under, making this point right here the new lower low. And again, remember, it is impossible to have a lower low without a lower high. Now, where's the lower high? You don't know how to find it? Cool. You just do the little snake trick. You pull it out. You put the head right here. You do the body. And as soon as it has the sharp turn, boom, that is your lower high point right there. So if I were to simply put the lower high points right here, which is the lower high right there, then this would now be a bearish market. And if you notice, the market has not body closed above or body closed under these 2 lines, making the market structure in this market currently bearish. The market structure here is simply bearish. If that makes sense, type 1. If it does not, type 2. This is extremely simple core foundations of market structure on how to read the market. We're simply not doing anything other than reading higher highs and higher lows. Like, to put you guys into perspective, what we're doing right now is like if your routine when you wake up in the morning is to brush your teeth and put on your clothes. What I've been showing you guys for the last 20, 30 minutes is what is a toothbrush and what is toothpaste and what are shoes and what are clothes. Like these are things that you should just know, right? Because it's part of your day-to-day routine. And a lot of you guys don't know because again, nobody really knows what the fuck they're doing. Nobody knows how to teach this stuff. So I'm here just showing you guys how simple it is, right? So now we understand that this market is simply bearish, right? Based off of this market structure right here. So I use multiple time frames to identify whether the market is bullish or bearish. So now to identify the trend, and time frames in sync, I only use weekly, daily, and then 4 hour. So I only use these 3 time frames so I can understand where the market is headed, right? There's other time frames such as the 2 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, but these are other time frames that I use for entries and to actually apply the strategy. Everything that I'm doing right now is just reading the market. So these are the 3 time frames that I use to understand whether the market is bullish or whether the market is bearish. Let me see if I can get that arrow right there. So we have the weekly, we have the daily, which is this one right there, and then we have the 4 hour. So these are the 3 time frames that I look to have in sync. Now, keep in mind, as of right now, what we have as a confluence is weekly is bullish, meaning that the weekly time frame is headed to the upside, right? So I put here weekly is bullish. So we are pending on the daily and we are pending on the 4 hour. So as of right now, the weekly time frame is bullish because that is the time frame that we are on right now. Now, when I mean 2 time frames in sync, that means that it has to be the weekly and the daily bullish, and it doesn't matter if the 4 hour is then bearish. It doesn't matter because we have 2 time frames in sync. It cannot be like this. It cannot be weekly bullish, daily bearish, and then 4 hour bullish. That is not 2 time frames in sync. It can be something like this where it's the weekly is bearish, the daily is bullish, and the 4 hours bullish. So there has to always be 2 time frames in sync in order for me to be interested in a trade. But as of right now, all we know is that the weekly time frame is bullish. We don't know what's going on with the daily. We don't know what's going on with the 4 hour, right? So what we're going to do right now is move on to the next point. If you guys are ready to move on to the next point, type 1. If you guys are ready to move, if you guys are not ready, type 2. Because all we're doing right now is simply reading market structure. Like that's literally all we're doing. Weekly time frame is currently bearish. Did I type bullish? Oh yeah, my bad, guys. It was a typo. Bearish, bearish, bearish. I am human. I apologize. Yeah, there you go. I don't know why. I guess for the example, I just did it like that. Whatever. You guys know what I mean. We just fucking went over this example, right? So the weekly is bearish. All right, cool. Perfect. So now we're going to move on to the next point right here, which is going to be the daily time frame, right? So we're going to remove this right here. We're going to remove this. We're going to leave that there for now. All right. So next, daily time frame. Daily time frame. All right, take your time, guys, please. I want you guys to identify whether we are bullish or whether we are bearish. It's very simple. Now, actually, before I say something, a lot of people, when they come to the markets, and they do this. And they're like, yeah, that market is bullish, or yeah, that market is bearish, or that market is choppy. And it's like, dude, you can't even see the market. Like you can't even see the candlesticks. How are you identifying whether this market is bullish or bearish? It's literally impossible. You cannot see the markets. It's literally impossible. And some people, they'll get something like this, or they'll have them super narrowed up like this. It's like, dude, what are you looking at? You physically, humanly cannot see the markets. They're not visible. You can't see the charts. Or also some people, what they do is they have them like this. They have them very far away, almost as if they're scared if the market is going to come and attack them. I don't know why. I've been trading now for 6 years and the market is yet to attack me. I've had the computer turn off a couple times, and I've had TradingView kind of log out a couple times, but I've never had the charts actually violate me physically. So you shouldn't be scared of them, right? You're supposed to not have them that far away because you're going to be taking the money out of the market. So you have to pull up to the market. You got to get closer. I'm telling you, so far, they have not done anything to me physically. Now, if they do something to you guys, well, that's on you. All right. I'm just speaking based off of my own experience. There's no reason for you to be scared of these markets. So you also don't want to get too close where you're just looking at this right here, because you need to have previous data so you can see whether the market is bullish or bearish. You need to look at the market structure. And if you're only looking at these candlesticks right here, well, it's a bit much. You got to zoom out a little bit. You got to be comfortable with it. I always recommend that the max that you should always be looking at is maybe 1 to 2 years max. Now, I got a big ass screen. I can see like 25 years, but it's very unnecessary. It's just extra. I just like how it looks. All you really need to look at is max 1 to 2 years max, right? So, is this market here bullish or bearish? What is this market doing? Is it bullish or is it bearish? I'm very, very excited to see what you guys are going to say. Take your time because it can be extremely confusing. It can be very, very, very confusing. Very, very, very confusing. And I don't blame you guys because this takes time for you to actually understand it. But the moment you understand it, it's going to click immediately. So I just want to see what more people say. So I'd say almost it's like a 50-50. Never mind, like 70-30, 70-30, 70-30. And you want to know what? It's kind of crazy how fast it changed, because I could guarantee you if at the beginning of the webinar I would have asked you guys if this is bullish or bearish, you guys probably would have no idea what to say, or you guys would have been wrong. So it's crazy how a lot of you guys are actually getting it right, but it's not about just getting it right. It's about knowing why you got it right. Because let's say right now, if I can pretty much predict that, you're not even predicting, it's analyzing, right? It's being able to know why you're right. Not just saying, oh, yeah, this is going to the downside and then you're right. Or, yeah, this is going to the upside and then you're right. But why? Show me the point that tells you that. It's like going to a quiz and you happen to guess out of 10 questions and out of A, B, C, or D, and you guess the right one all the time. Yeah, like that's cool. You got it right. But did you actually even read the question and did you read the answer, or did you just fucking get lucky? So that's what I want you guys to know. I want you guys to actually read the question and you know the answer. Not that you just fucking got that shit out of nowhere. So right here, this market, we're going to identify what it is. So for simple examples, right, we're going to start off at this point right here, which this is going to be the higher high. This is now going to be the higher low point right over here, right? Whatever. I know you guys can see it. Let me just do this. And then we'll put it to the right, right? So this is the higher low point right here. This is the higher high point right here. And then this is the higher low point right here. So again, keep in mind, the moment we body close under, then this becomes bearish. So if this becomes bearish, this point right here turns into the lower low. And if this turns into the lower low, that means we need a lower high. Well, where can the lower high be? I have no idea. I have a little snake thing right here. Little snake thing, boom, turned. That is exactly what snakes do. Snakes turn on you. I had a couple snakes turn on me. So this is where we have a lower high. So this is now we understand that this market is bearish. And then what do we have? A new lower low. So this point right here is the new lower low. Then the lower high, you don't know where it is. The little snake trick, boom, that is exactly where it turned. So then this is where you are now going to mark as the lower low. And then this point right here will be the lower high. So this is the lower high. The moment we body, so all of this right here, we did not body close under this line, meaning that this is not a lower low. This is simply market structure. This is just market doing its thing. These wicks don't count. Wicks don't count to read the market structure. They do count in the markets, but not to read market structure. So this right here is simply nothing. But we did body close above. So what does that mean? That means that this right here is now considered a higher high. And then we don't know where the higher low is. Cool. We pull out a snake trick. As soon as it turns, boom, snakes turn. That's what they do. They do it all the time. It never fails. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just trying to make this fun because this shit, it's just the same thing. I don't know if you guys have realized, but this is literally the same thing all like over and over. So this is the higher low. All right, we'll take this off. Right. So then this is the higher low. And then we have a new break right here. So what does it make this? It makes this the lower low. And if this is the lower low, we pull the little snake trick back. And then this is then a lower high. So then this is the lower high point right over here. This point over here is now the lower high. So this market is bearish because this is the lower low and then this is the lower high. If you guys predicted that the market was bearish because of these 2 points, type 1. If you didn't, type 2. Be honest, guys. Be honest with yourselves because now you know why this market is bearish and not bullish. It is very key that you guys understand this because you guys want to make sure that you guys understand the trend of the market. As soon as you guys understand the trend of the market, you guys are going to now understand where should you buy or where should you sell? Where do I place the support? Where do I place the resistance? Again, exactly. You see, a lot of you guys said it was bearish, but you guys didn't know why it was bearish. So now my question to you guys is right now, do you guys understand why this is bearish right now? Do you guys understand that it is bearish because of this lower high and it is bearish because of this lower low? If that is the case, put a W in the chat. And if not, just put an L in the chat, whatever. But so if you guys know that this is bearish right now because of this lower high and this lower low, put a W in the chat. If not, put an L and I'll get an L because that means I'm doing terrible. You guys should be understanding everything. Please remove the old drawing. What do you mean, brother? Oh, like these little dots. Yeah, these little dots drive me crazy. All right, perfect. Got a bunch of W's in the chat. Fire. All right, cool. So as of right now, we have the weekly bearish and then the daily is bearish as well. So this already is enough for me to be interested in looking to sell this trade. Why? Well, because we have 2 time frames in sync. This time frame is headed down and then this time frame is headed down. So we got 2 time frames in sync. So I should only be looking for sells. Now, these sells are going to be added on if the 4-hour is bearish. Because let's be honest, guys, if you got 3 time frames in sync, why would you not take this sell? Almost like if you have a pop quiz and they're asking you in the pop quiz, what year is it? Is it 1950, 1951, 1952, or 2000? The closest one is 2000, even though it's wrong, because that's just the way some tests are. You're going to pick 2000. I'm gonna be honest, that was a terrible example. I thought I was going somewhere with that. But the point is that it just makes more sense to put 2000 than the 1951s, right? It's the same thing here. It's gonna make more sense for us to then sell than to buy this market if now the 4-hour is bearish as well. So if you guys understand everything so far, type 1. If you guys do not understand, type 2. I want to make sure that we have a lot of ones in the chat. Yeah, that was a terrible example. My bad, guys. I tried. There's a lot of pressure. There's almost 13,000 of you guys in here. This is fucking insane. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And by the way, like the 30-day bootcamp is like this. Like I'm a very energetic person. I'm a very up person. I'm a very I guess charismatic or entertaining, or I make jokes because bro, this shit gets boring. When I say higher low and higher high 1,000 times, you will probably get off the call because this shit gets repetitive and it gets annoying. My tongue starts hurting. I go to sleep saying higher high, higher low, lower, because it's just the same thing over and over again. So sometimes, you got to just break the ice kind of refresh a little bit, and then you come right back into it. Because I can guarantee you guys out there, because this happened to me at the beginning, that when I was learning these courses, I would literally fall asleep. I would literally watch these videos and I just kind of start going like that. Or I would be watching the videos and I would just daze off because they're just boring. And it's not their fault. Well, probably is because half of these guys suck, but this topic is actually very boring because it's just very repetitive. So imagine you're in the middle of, hearing these videos and then you just hear fucking some crazy ass shit like I say. It's gonna keep you in tune. And when I do it often, you don't know when shit's gonna pop up. Like right now, this thing right back behind me right now, that shit could just jump on me, and that'll be fucking scary. I'm not gonna lie. So whatever. The point is that everything that you guys are seeing right now is a very simple approach on how to understand whether the market is bullish or whether the market is bearish. Now, this, like I said at the beginning, is a very simple core foundation to the trading, right? So this is what you want to have, right? You want to have the first thing is whether the market is bullish or whether the market is bearish. And the only time frames I use to identify this are going to be the weekly, the daily, and the 4 hour. So we're going to do the 4 hour for examples purposes, right? So is the 4 hour bullish or is the 4 hour bearish, right? I want to see what you guys are going to say. This is the final test to see if this has been making sense, right? Is the 4 hour bullish or is the 4 hour bearish? Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Yo, honestly, that shit. Yo, has that moved at all? Because I promise you, that thing looks like it moved. All right, let's just not pretend like it's there. All right. All right. So is it bullish or is it bearish? Okay. Okay. Getting some very, very good answers. All right, perfect. So this is now where we will identify same way how we did in the other ones. So let's just mark off again to make it simple. Let's make this the 4 hour higher high. And then we'll make this over here the higher low, right? So we are looking at this point and we are looking at this point right here. So this is the higher high. And then this is the higher low, right? So now the moment we body close under, then this shifts to now bearish. So this would now be the lower low, this point right here. You don't know where the lower high is. Neither do I. Do a little snake trick, boom, turned on you. Now this over here is going to be the actual lower high point right here. We're going to mark this off as our lower high. The moment body closes above or under one of these two lines, the market then shifts. Boom, what happened here? The market then shifted. So now this is the higher high. And if this is the higher high right here, where's the higher low? Damn, I don't know. Well, let's pull out the snake trick right here. This right here didn't really turn that much. That's not really it. Boom. This is the real turning point right there. So then that is considered the higher low point right here. So it's going to be this point right here as our higher low point. And as of right now, this market structure has not broken above or under this line, making the 4 hour time frame currently bullish. So as of right now, we have the weekly time frame that is bearish. Oh shit. We have the daily time frame that is bearish, and then we have the 4 hour time frame that is bullish, which this right here is perfectly fine because this is what I do. What I do right now is I'll set up a very strategic way on how I am going to wait for the 4 hour to be bearish, which it'll be a shift of the area of interest. It'll be retesting the double top, retesting the neckline around psychological level, all of these other things that my strategy actually applies, which is now going to give me my strategy that I can use in the market. Everything we've been doing up to this point right now, guys, is just reading the market. It's just knowing if it's bullish or knowing if it's bearish. We're not doing anything else other than that. Because now that I understand where this market is headed, dope. Now I know that this is a market that I want to trade. So now this is a market where I will pull out my rules. I'm going to pull out my trusty rules, and then I'm going to actually apply my trading strategy to this pair. Because sometimes the market is like this, and if the market is like this, I can't apply the strategy. So if I only limit myself to one pair, it can be like this for weeks or months at a time. Imagine that. Now that sucks. So this is why I have a bunch of pairs, because what I do is I simply look for this right here. I look for pairs that have 2 to 3 time frames in sync. And the ones that have the majority of time frames in sync, I add to my top 2, top 3 in the watch list. And those are the ones that I trade and I apply the strategy. So everything that I've done right now, everything that I've just shown you, which has taken me longer than I expected, is simply my routine. This is a routine that I do to actually read the market. And so I am able to understand whether it's just bullish or whether it's bearish, right? Because it's my routine. It's what I do every single day. And as soon as I'm done with that routine, then I go about my day. Same way how when you wake up, you brush your teeth, you go to your car, then you go about your day, whether you're going to go hit the gym, whether you're going to go to work, whatever you're going to do. So this right there was a very, very simple kind of sneak peek of what you can expect of the actual 30-day boot camp, right? That is just, I say, not even tip of the iceberg. That's just like the water, because obviously I'm kind of, going through it pretty fast, right? Because imagine this for literally 30 days, which is absolutely insane. So now coming back over here to what I was explaining to you guys, this is exactly what I'm going to be teaching you for 30 days. And it's not going to just be random like that. It's going to obviously be stuff that is extremely organized. So we're going to have stuff like the first week where I'm going to teach you exactly how the markets work. I'm going to teach you how to read the markets, which is kind of what I just did right now, but obviously in a much more detailed way, more examples. And, it's going to go on for the whole week on how to read the market, trading fundamentals, what exactly you need to earn money, and the proper first steps that you should do. Like what I just did with you guys right now, I just skip like 4 or 5 steps, because you have to build the core before you get to the point where I have just done right now. So obviously I did it just for the kind of experienced traders in here, and so you guys can kind of get a little bit of a feel of what it is to do the actual market reading, how I do it. But obviously, there's a lot more that has to get done in order to just be ready for what I just showed you. And what I'm just showing you right now is just getting you ready for the strategy. So the first week, it's going to be something very simple like this. The second week, I'm going to actually teach you how to read the markets, how to use the tools, learn on how you can actually take the trades, and how the strategy works. So on week 2, I'm going to actually teach you how it works, what it consists of, the principles of it, all the details and the fine tuning. And then when it comes to week 3, I'm going to teach you how I actually use it. And then we're going to do it live together. I'm going to show you how I read the market. I'm going to show you everything that I use with the set and forget strategy on a daily basis. So week 2 is I'm going to teach you what it is. And then on week 3 is how you can actually implement it. Because, bro, remember, there's plenty of time. We got 30 days. And then lastly, on the last week, it's pretty much it's your time. It's time for you to start your own, execution with the trading plan. We're going to create you a trading plan. You're going to make your first profits because, we're trading together. And then on top of that, you guys are going to trade with me pretty much live every single day, pretty much for the last week, which is kind of crazy. And honestly, there's only 2 things that are left for you guys to pretty much lock in your spot. And that is that I need you guys to understand that for you to grasp what I have just explained, it takes 2 very serious things. And that is commitment. If you're not committed to be here for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, to actually intake all of this information, it's not going to work. But if you have commitment, all you're missing is just take action. But when you add take action, all the rest you have to do is just apply the strategy that I'm going to teach you. I'm literally going to make this easy. I'm going to hand it to you so you guys can just simply follow the steps, so you guys can simply do exactly what I am doing. But you guys are wondering, can anybody be part of this 30-day bootcamp? And the answer, sadly, is no, because as you guys can see, there's a lot of questions in the chat. The chat's going crazy, and not everybody's probably at the same speed. So that's why I want to narrow it down to only 100 serious people, because from 30,000 applications on people that have applied, literally only 100 will be allowed to enter. And as of right now, they have been selected and you guys are live right now. The people that have been selected, I can almost guarantee you are part of this webinar. And this is what you're going to obtain once these 100 people get onboarded, which I'm going to explain in 1 second exactly what it is. So you guys are going to obviously get the live classes for the 30 days. So what we pretty much just did right now for about, an hour or whatever, we're going to do it every single day for the next 30 days. Then obviously you're going to have live Q&As. So it's going to be questions that I'm going to actually read the chat and answer it. Right now, I'm not reading the chat. I'm kind of just making sure there's W's and L's so you guys understand and you guys are with it. But if you have any questions, I'm going to actually get them answered. Then you guys are going to have access to Sunday swings for life. So I don't think you guys understand the value that Sunday Swings has to offer, because this is an ongoing mentorship. It's not just 30 days and then that's it. Peace. No, that's not the way how I work. Literally, what I just did with you guys right now, we would be doing it together every single Sunday for the rest of our trading journey, our trading career, because I do it every single week with the students. And you guys are going to be part of the group with the students where we go live every single Sunday, where I give you my top 2, top 3, top 4 pairs that I have identified to be the best ones for me to trade for the week. So you can literally copy what I'm doing. I'm going to pretty much set you up for success with the strategy in the 30 days. And then after the 30 days, every single Sunday, we're going to be live how we are right now. And I'm going to share with you the pairs that I'm going to be trading. So that way you can stay within the flow of what we're going to be doing in the market. So everything is literally done together. So you can have the same results that I do, and you can be up to speed where I am. Then we're going to also have 2 in-person masterminds yearly. And this is going to be only and exclusively privately for Swing Trading Lab members. These are only people that either join the bootcamp or have the set and forget strategy, because I wanted to be tailored to people that have the same mindset, the same ambition, and people that are in your area that want to succeed. So this is so you guys can get to know each other, because you don't really get to see another trader. You can't be like, hey, I know that guy over there is a trader. No, nobody walks around with a floating billboard saying, hey, I'm a profitable trader. Like you can see, let's say somebody that's studying to be a nurse because they're wearing scrubs, or somebody that wants to be a doctor, they're wearing the robe. A trader, probably got to see if they're wearing some fake Gucci or a fake watch. You never know, you got to assume. But whatever. The point is that this in-person mastermind is so you guys can get to meet other like-minded people in your area. Obviously, you're going to have access to the Discord where you can ask questions to me live, where you can interact with your other like-minded people on a day-to-day basis inside of the chat. This way, so you can literally not only be part of the Sunday Swings every single day, every single week, but you can chat with other traders every single day. You're going to obviously get access to the set and forget strategy without a doubt, which is, the strategy I'm going to teach you guys in 30-day bootcamp. This is where I think a great value is, which is you guys are going to also get access to my psychology course, because this psychology course, I created it at a point in my journey where I was going through one of the most interesting points, where I was developing from an unsuccessful trader to a break-even trader to then a profitable trader. And I recorded my journey. And you guys have seen how on Instagram, how literally 5 years ago, I literally said, oh, I'm going to own that McLaren and I'm going to own this and I'm going to do this. I did the same thing while in my trading journey. So I documented the process of my mindset shifting. So I think the best golden videos for you guys to grasp the mindset and understand the psychology that I had to do in order to get to the point where I am today. And then obviously you guys will have access to the 30-day recordings for life. So if you guys, the 100 traders, if you guys join the 30-day bootcamp, as soon as you join, you guys will be sent the recording as well. And if all of that is not enough for you and it's not what you want, there's a 3-day money back guarantee. So for those 100 students that have been chosen, which yes, it's only 100 students, there's a 3-day money back guarantee that you can simply have it right back. So if you were selected, 2 things will happen. And I want to make sure that you guys pay attention, because you're going to receive an email. So I want to make sure you guys look at your spam, you guys look at your junk, you guys look at your promotions, look at all of the folders to see if you got accepted. And if you got accepted, somebody from my team will contact you personally, either to your email or to your phone number via text or via WhatsApp. So they're going to be contacting you. So what happens if you receive the email? They're going to give you the onboarding process so you can lock in your spot. And if you don't lock in your spot, pretty much right now, somebody else is going to lock it in right in after you. And it's only going to be the first 100. So if you lock in your spot, this is your chance to do it. And then what happens if you didn't receive an email? Sadly, you didn't get accepted. It took me a while to review everything, and I really wanted to make as many people happy as I can. That's why I went into a lot of detail here. But based off of the performance of these students, then maybe we'll do one later down the year. But yeah, you didn't get an email. I apologize. So with that being said, whenever in doubt, make sure you guys set and forget. So this has pretty much been everything for today's webinar. I hope you guys found this extremely valuable. Those of you guys that got accepted, you guys will be getting an email shortly. I'll tell the team to kind of send them out in the next 15 minutes or 10 minutes. So make sure you guys check out your emails. And yeah, I'm very excited to start this 30-day bootcamp with you guys. Kind of what I just did today is a very, very sneak peek of what you guys can expect, because I'm literally in the zone. Like I'm locked in, you know what I mean? So I'm very excited for this to happen. And nothing. For those of you guys that will be part of it, you guys will be receiving an onboarding email. And in that email, it's going to explain to you the steps. We will get your information. We'll get you on board. And the bootcamp is going to start very, very soon. So make sure you guys have your notepads. Make sure you guys have your times blocked out. The times that we're going to be doing the boot camps is going to be based off of the time on the 100 traders that join on day one, which you're going to get the time on day one in the email as soon as you lock in your spot. That's where I'm going to then explain when we get on day one. We're going to have the onboarding call, so on and so forth. But then I'm going to make a poll. I'm going to ask the people that join, what is the best time for you guys? When should we actually do the call? Should we do them at 3 in the morning, my time? Should we do them at 10? Should we do them at 5? Whatever time you guys decide on, whatever you guys vote on, that's the time that I'm going to do it, because these next 30 days, I'm just dedicating it to you guys. I'm not traveling. I'm not doing anything other than this 30-day bootcamp. So I'm going to solely dedicate it to you guys. And if the majority of you guys say X time, I'm going to be there. So that time on the following classes after day one will then be decided on what times the community decides. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this webinar. I hope you guys found this extremely valuable. I might put up the recording, might not. For those of you guys that got accepted, you guys will be receiving an email shortly. And pretty much if you don't lock in your spot, kind of like immediately somebody else will pick it up. But yeah, thank you guys for being part of this webinar. And I hope this is extremely valuable. Remember, whenever in doubt,